Welcome to Flip Lesson 85 for the 6th grade. Today we're going to look at a new idea called cross multiplication. And basically what cross multiplication is sometimes as we're looking at our fractions and we're saying, hey, are these equal? You know, in the past we've been able to say, okay, let's find that common factor that when multiplied together I get 36. But as you look at that number, 8 times what equals 36? And there isn't a nice even number that goes in there. And so there must be a different method to help us solve that. And that's where we get the process called cross multiplication. In cross multiplication, what we're going to do is we're going to take the denominator of our first fraction and multiply it by the numerator of the second fraction. So 8 times 9 gives us 72. All right. Now, when we take the numerator times the denominator, we should get the same product. We should get the same answer of 72. If they are both 72, then these fractions are proportionate, or they're equivalent. Right? If proportionate doesn't make sense to you. Equivalent. They're the same amount. So 2 times 36, right? 6 times 2 gives me a 2, carry the 1. Right? Here's I'm carrying the 1. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 equals 72. And so in the end, we cross multiplied and we got a fraction. Sorry, we got 72 over 72, which means that 2 eighths is equivalent to 9/36. So they are equal. So this idea of being equal is true. But what you see here is we cross multiplied. Let's try another one. This time we have 8 times 72 and 3 times 85, right? So now you see how these problems are not necessarily going to be simpler numbers, all right? So I'm going to take 85 times 3, 3 times 5, carry the 1, whoops, 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 is 255. So now when I multiply 8 times 72, like this, cross multiply the other direction, I should get the same answer. And as I start to do that, I get a 6, carry the 1, and I get a 7 and a 5. And so since these two answers, these two products were not the same, we would say that these two fractions, 3/8 and 72/85, are not the same. And so we have that idea. Now, sometimes cross multiplication can help us solve for unknown ideas also, right? And so you can look at this problem where 8 becomes 12. Well, what times 8 equals 12? There isn't a clean, easy answer there. So instead, we can use cross multiplication. We can take the 8 times the w, and of course, we're going to get this right here, right? Which is 8w. And then if I take the 9 times the 12, cross multiply that way, I'm going to get 108. 9 times 12 is 108. If you don't believe me, check your work. But now we're left with a very doable equation, right? 8 times w, right? 8w is the same as 8 times w, equals 108. So in the end, we're going to take 108, and we're going to divide by 8. And we're going to hope it comes out even, right? 8 goes into 10, one time. Subtract, get a 2, 28. Doesn't look like our number is going to come out even, but we can still work with this idea just so you can see the process that you would have to take. And so you get a 4. And so technically it's 13.5 or 13.5. And so W equals 13.5. But you see how we are able to solve for that. Right? So here's one sample problem you can work with. Pause the video. And then here's a second sample problem. That's lesson 85.